Hey, you guys. I know I look like shit. Do I sound like shit too? I'm sure I do. Because I'm sick. I'm juicing right now. That's how sick I am. You know how to juice? Have you ever juiced before? I haven't done this in a while. So I've had this like respiratory thing for like the past week, maybe. Yeah, I think it's been present for like a week. And my body is still obviously fighting off the virus because it hasn't cleared. So I have all this mucus and shit, body aches, and I don't have a fever though. My car's in the shop. It's gonna cost like $1,400 to fix it. Well, the thing is, like, I've been putting this off and putting this off and putting this off. I've had like a fucking O2 sensor that's been out. So, like, I know that I need to get it fixed. I have an O2 sensor. The check engine light's been on and off, and then finally it just flickered on and stayed the fuck on. And that's been going on for probably like a year and a half now. And I have a coolant leak, so they told me they gotta replace the coolant reservoir. Um, so yeah. But yeah, $1,400 for that shit. Now I was told that the O2 sensor is like pretty pricey though. Right. I still need to get brakes done. That's what bumps me out about the cost of this car repair because I know that I still need brakes. That's okay though. Everything costs money, right? Everything costs money. I'm juicing right now in case you're wondering what the fuck's going on. I think I just broke my juicer. Is that possible to break the juicer? It is with me. Okay. We didn't break it. Okay. We're almost done. I used to juice all the time and then I got out of the habit. But I haven't made myself a smoothie in a long time. It's a long time for me. Because I'm a crazy person. And crazy people love the internet. I actually don't love the internet. I'm one of the few crazy people that does not love the internet. People have always told me to do it though. Like when YouTube started. But I didn't have the confidence then. And now I just don't give a fuck. Same thing with comedy. There's a lot of stuff that I care about that I want to talk about. I don't think other people are talking about it. Probably sounds a bit self-righteous, but so be it. I'm sure I'll get accused of that at some point. I typically do. The difference is I know it and I don't like it. Oh, hey, it's 4:20. My favorite time in the entire world. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the internet. I remember back when it was considerably different than it is now, and you had to wait like 3 or 4 hours to get on the internet, and that was indicated by a little man that would travel along the screen. That was called AOL. This is before email. And I remember waiting just like staring at the screen and then going off and doing something else. Going on the internet was like waiting for an edible to kick in. You just had to be patient. And then you got on the internet and it was like, oh my God, we're on the internet. And it was like, it was so cool because it felt like you were in this separate space with so much possibility and so much potential. And now you have this. Now you have like people twerking at department stores in a TikTok video, and AI cat videos that fool all of the boomers. Well, yeah, fucking duh, dude. I mean, that was the whole point of it. That was literally the whole point of it. I guess you have to be crazy in order to see like the negative potential of things, you know? So like shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. But they choose to be suffocated. They choose this. On some level, they choose this. Everybody makes choices. The more conscious that you become of the choices you make, the better choices you will make. That's not... I hate it when people say it's not that deep, but it's really not that deep. You know what? If you're going to keep meowing, you're going to keep being annoying, and you don't expect me to do anything about it. What's really cool about her is she'll just kind of sit there. All right, you know you want the attention. You know you're a woman. You know you're a woman that wants attention. Yeah, that's the thing. I actually had a lot of like issues with like being a female comic and like another female on the internet. But I realized that there aren't very many people doing what I'm doing. And it's because of my lifestyle. It's not just because, oh, I have a unique perspective. It's like, well, my lifestyle. Okay. Okay, well you're gonna get down. You're gonna get down. You're gonna keep doing that. It's like I know I look like shit, okay? Don't think I don't know. I need to take a bath. I really do, but I just don't like to. I have to wait for it to get warmer in this house. Because I don't like sleeping when it's like super hot. Anyway. Yeah, so people they choose to do all the stuff that they do. The difference is with like regular drugs. Regular drugs aren't being pushed unless we're talking about psychiatry, okay? Like, you don't have like, so I was noticing this when I was watching the I almost said Super Bowl, Thanksgiving. On Thanksgiving, you know, there are a bunch of football games, and I was watching football with my dad, and I was noticing like how all these commercials revolved around technology, and there's like no other thing that you can get addicted to that's going to be advertised as much as technology, you know? Like, you know, you have like beer commercials. So I was noticing about the beer commercials is like every single one of them had people in the commercials that were actually living. They didn't have phones. They were all partying, dancing, having conversations, falling in love, laughing, having a good time. So I just found that interesting that, like, okay, you can do that with Corona. You can do that with Dos Equis. Or, um, you know, I don't drink liquor. I mean, I don't drink anymore, period. But, when I drank liquor, it was like just the shitty ass vodka because I didn't care. I just wanted to get fucked up. But, like, there is this whole idea of, like, getting drunk and, like, having a good time and socializing and all that shit. Um, and, like, I mean, I never thought that was, like, that wasn't me. That's not the way I drank. I really want to do commercials that show, like, the more alcoholic side. Where you're just putting that shit in a water bottle and traveling around town, but because you just can't function without it. But, like, yeah, I just noticed that all the commercials that showed people actually living involved alcohol. No, I don't. Stop lying. I think you're lying. I think you're full of shit. Well, then they wouldn't be commercials, would they? Silly head. You get the fuck out of America, dude. This is a friend of mine. He was on a cruise a few months ago. And I don't know where he went. It was like, because I think he went around, like, the Bahamas area. He went to some island that wasn't, like, civilized or whatever the fuck. And he was saying, like, man, all those people seem so happy. And I was like, they don't have cell phones, do they? And he's like, no, they don't. Like, that's why. Like, all of these other countries that seem like they're not as bad as America are catching up with America. They're going along with the same American standards, if you can even call it that. And yeah, they're all going to be just as fucked as Americans real soon. I mean, technology, liberalism, women doing everything, psychiatry, food, if you can even call it that. I mean, yeah, it's just, it's destroying. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, Canada's not far behind. I would say Canada's a lot better than America, though. A lot of people go on and on about, like, oh, Canada's better because of the gun shit. The reason why the gun shit is so bad here is because of the TV. It's not because of psychiatry. I know I go on and on about that, like how psychiatry is evil. We need to talk about psychiatry outside of that issue, because I actually think that the whole reason why they're talking about that is to discount it, to make it seem like, oh, you're just some crazy right-winger that wants to keep your guns, which is why you talk about the prevalence of school shooters being on medication. There are so many people taking medication, especially in this country. There are so many people all over the world, but in Western civilization, taking medication. They're not committing acts of violence. Okay, so yeah, they're too docile. So I think that the kinds of people that do commit acts of violence on medication, it's not because of the medication itself. So this isn't a strong argument. I'm all in favor of making arguments that are going to withstand the bullshit, because a lot of our opponents are just completely full of shit. So what I like to bring up is the suicides. Plenty of suicides that involve guns. And then you could talk about the prevalence of violence not involving guns, just to prove that the only thing they care about is just the gun issue, like guns when it comes to mass shootings. But I mean, look at the way that they reacted to, like, Charlie Kirk. They basically said, like, oh, well, he deserved to go out because of his views on guns. Now, honestly, that's probably the only viewpoint of theirs that I agree with, because I'm like, yeah, I mean, if that's how he actually went out, I don't think it was. I think it was all a lie. But let's pretend that what was on the TV was totally real, okay? If that was the case, then yeah, he essentially died for what he believed in. So what's wrong with that? Well, fucking duh. Motherfucking yeah. I mean, that's the whole point of the media. And that's not just TV either. Like, that's the newspapers. That's, like, all the things that you see, like, songs. Like, okay, so of all the music, TV, movies, video games now, it's like, I'm sure you know about The Simpsons with Matt Groening. Matt Groening's a third degree Mason, I believe. So, like, he knows, like, what's going on. So there's people that, like, these retards think are white hats. They're not white hats. They're on the inside and they make a lot of money. So they probably get their rocks off writing these stories involving the truth. They're telling us what's actually happening. And there probably is some sort of sick spiritual power that they get from that. Much like George Orwell writing the book 1984, he got something out of that, you know? Just like George Carlin talking about big club, the big club, you ain't in it, but he most definitely in it. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been allowed to say that, you know? It's like, yeah, they all get perks for like being in that system and working for that system. And so, like, smarter people, or I shouldn't say smart, but wiser people will read a book or they'll watch a TV show and be like, oh, this is about what's going on. But we're not so fucking retarded that we think, oh, wow, Matt Groening cares about us. That's why he's telling us the truth. They just want to believe that. They want to believe that there's somebody on their side. That's why they like Mel Gibson, you know? That's why they like Mel Gibson. That's why they like all the political people that they like. That's why Trump had this appeal, because Trump pretends that he's going to save America and that he speaks for the working class and, you know, your average American white man. It's just totally disenfranchised because of the liberal bitches. You know, it's like, I love to believe that. I really would. I love how much he pisses them off, but at the same time, like, he ain't going to do shit. He's not going to do anything but like just stir like more controversy and just make them even more erratic than they already are. So, isn't that cool? Okay, I just put kratom in the shit because I got body aches and I do not feel like taking acetaminophen. I got into an argument last year with my bishop over medications and everything. And he was like, I don't understand why you can't just take Tylenol. And I was like, they're all coming from the same place, dude. Like, all of these pharmaceuticals are really dangerous, okay? And whether it's fucking Tylenol or it's Xanax or it's Wellbutrin, whatever the fuck, birth control, I would much rather take a plant that grows in the ground. And yeah, that's going to have side effects, but why is euphoria wrong, dude? Why is it wrong for me to enjoy this? Like, I always look forward to getting sick because then I could get high and I'll feel bad about it. No, nothing's changed. Nothing changes. I'm going to read you something. Maybe this will make you leave because it makes a lot of people leave. Once I open the Bible, like, people leave. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny? This person that just joined, they're probably going to leave. So, like, no, fuck that. I don't want to read the scripture. Fuck you, bitch. I'm reading this because it applies. I'm not trying to literally throw the book at you, okay? That's not what I'm doing. I just think this is very relevant, okay? Because this is like, okay, you know that song by the Byrds? To everything, turn, turn, turn. There is a season, turn, turn, turn. That song. They stole that from the words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. Okay. Here it is. So this is from Ecclesiastes chapter 3. Okay. Forgive me if I sound like shit, because I am sick. Okay. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven. a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. What profit hath he that worketh in that wherein he laboureth? I have seen the travail which God hath given to the sons of men to be exercised in it. He hath made everything beautiful in his time. Also he hath set the world in their heart, so that no man can find out the work that God maketh from the beginning to the end. I know that there is no good in them. But for a man to rejoice and to do good in his life, and also that every man should eat and drink and enjoy the good of all his labor, it is the gift of God. I know that whatsoever God doeth, it shall be forever. Nothing can be put to it, nor anything taken from it. And God doeth it, that men should fear before him. That which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been, and God requireth that which is past. And moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, that wickedness was there, and the place of righteousness, that iniquity was there. I said in mine heart, God shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. I said in mine heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts. For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. Even one thing befalleth them. As the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yea, they have all one breath, so that a man hath no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. All go unto one place. All are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth? Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall be after him? This is why I read the Bible, you guys. This is why. It's because of the philosophy of this. A lot of people get lost in the semantics of the here and now, or the before and the history, oh, this happened, or this is going to happen, or this is what's happening right now. Everybody's like so obsessed with it. It's totally egotistical. I think it's totally egotistical, like to just think that you know everything, which is why I love Ecclesiastes so much. Ecclesiastes is probably like, if the Psalms and Proverbs didn't exist, it would be my favorite part of the Bible in general, because of the philosophical element. And it's so dark, it's so cynical, and like, I think that I'm naturally a very, I don't want to say pessimistic person, but just I'm realistic, and I know the futility of everything. I understand that, yeah, things are pretty boring, Yeah, I mean, all of that. I would highly recommend, especially these naysayers of the Bible, y'all need to just read it for philosophical purposes, and you'll be absolutely amazed as to how much it changes your life. And just the way that you look at things, man, the way that you look at the world, the way that you look at everybody around you, you're going to realize why everything is so fucked up, okay? And it's going to make you want to work on yourself. The biggest problem, always and forever, is that people don't want to work on themselves. They run away from that shit. That's why women are so screwed up. That's why, like, politics is such a dead end, because all they do is point the finger at the other political party, and they're both the same. I mean, yeah, I will make the case, because I've been on the left and I've hung around them. I've spent time with feminists reluctantly, and I can tell you they are fucking nuts, but they're exploited. They're easy to exploit because they're just knee deep in the victim mentality, so they're easy to exploit. What are you doing over here? What are you playing with, honey? Should we listen to this album? I want to listen to this album. That was in my car for a long time, but I've been playing Bob Marley in here. But no, I have this rule that I'm not allowed to fucking listen to the music of a band whose T-shirt I'm sporting. Now, this was a rule that was taken from a dude I went to college with a long time ago, but I'm like, that's a reasonable rule, dude. And I wish that would get implemented in Washington. But anyway, I really need to drink this. I'm just stirring it around. It's like this is exactly what I did when I drank alcohol. I would just hold a shot glass because I knew that once I started drinking it, the night was fucking over. Hold on, I'm gonna pray about this. I'm gonna pray about this, but I don't want you to be in the room where I pray. Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. Yeah, so I pray the Lord's Prayer before I do like everything. And it helps. It helps me feel better about whatever I'm about to do. Before I commence a task, I feel like if you pray before you do things, it just makes you feel better. It gives you like more positive attitude about it, you know, because I tend to be reluctant about everything. God, this tastes like shit. This tastes like absolute fucking shit, you guys. Have you ever had this? It's like dirt. It's like dirt took a shit. That that is how bad it tastes. I used to mix it with orange juice. It wasn't so bad. But yeah, I knew this guy who he would like take it in shot glasses. Like he'd mix it in water and like take it with something else. I'm like, dude, that just seems a little much. Well, you should try it, son. Use weed. I I've been thinking about weed, and not because I really want to use it, but because I'm sick, and like it's always helped me when I was sick. But I'm like, dude, just stick with the kratom. Like that's already bad enough. I mean, I don't feel bad about it. You know, I don't feel bad like using something that grows in the ground to help me. I mean, is it good for you? I mean, it grows in the ground, so I would say yes. um, well, God, you know the one. He put plants on the earth for a reason. They all have a purpose. So they've been using the kratom plant in Indonesia for a long, long time. They've been using it in like it's real popular in Asia. So they use it as a social thing, but they also use it as medicine because that's what plants are. And there are plenty of plants that don't get you high. Um, well, yeah, one of the perks of medicine is that it can get you high. So, you know, it's an opiate though. But that's why I'm taking it because I got body aches and shit. So it's like, yeah, I could take acetaminophen. That's what's in your aspirin. You can take ibuprofen. But it even says on the bottle, which is surprising, but it says this on the bottle, like that you should not exceed more than a certain amount every day because of how bad it is for your liver. Now, I mean, kratom is bad for your liver too. Alcohol is bad for your liver. But it's like as long as you don't like take ridiculous amounts of it, you should be fine. But yeah, I take it for pain and it helps with that because it attaches itself to the opioid receptors. Like medicine, Like all the pharmaceuticals that exist are just mocking regular medicine. Well, it's not mocking, it's mocking and mimicking regular medicine. So I also do it because it's a good distraction. So if I'm in pain or I'm like, I feel like I'm sluggish, I'm not able to do anything, then it's like it's fine. Because I really, really hate being sick. I mean, I'm not saying that anybody enjoys it, but like I hate not being at work. I hate having to take time off and sleeping and feeling like I can't do anything. That's the absolute worst. Because I'm probably, according to some, a workaholic. So like I mean that's why I make so much art, and people don't have to like it or think that it's any good. Like it doesn't matter. Like it gives me a sense of purpose. Like from what I just read, there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. I mean, yeah, like that's all you can do. Like figure out what you can contribute and motherfucking contribute it. And like what's wrong? Like people have people have gotten it into their heads that the only way that something is valuable is if somebody else appreciates it or somebody else likes it or validates it, and that's complete crap. And I mean that's nice. That's nice for other people to appreciate it. Um, Painted signs. Oh, they're not. I don't. Do I paint? Well, I mean, it's marker. I use markers. I've been thinking about getting the paint markers, but I don't know if that's gonna. Oh yeah, I should show you this one. It's pretty cool. I really like this one. It's like one of the coolest posters I've ever done. How long does it take to make one? It just depends. This one took me a while, but that's because I spent more time on it. It says most narcissists are just failed sociopaths. Fuck you, narcs. Fuck you, narkies. Ugh. I feel sorry for them though. I still do. I really do feel sorry for them because they're failed sociopaths. They can't even do that. They can't even. The reason for that is because like they want to not care. A sociopath just doesn't care. Like I'm almost in awe of them for that shit. I am. Like as an empath, I am so in awe of sociopaths sometimes because they can just let stuff go. They can just like do something bad and not even feel guilty about it, just walk away. And I'm like, man, like I'm still in my head about some stupid shit. I used to be way worse about it. The reason why I used cannabis for so long, it really helped me to, be able to have conversations in my head that were more positive. And I think that what I was doing was very narcissistic, though. So it was like constantly obsessing about, oh, did I say this and it pissed this person off or it upset somebody or whatever. But and then I don't know, when I started doing stand-up comedy, I was like, you're supposed to be offensive. And so I just stopped giving a fuck about that. It gave me a very like sociopathic attitude about my art. But I feel like you kind of have to have that attitude because you have to believe in what you do. And in order to believe in what you do, you have to discount what other people have to say about it because they're not you. They don't have your portion. Okay. Um, yeah. Narcissists really care what people think. Sociopaths, and that's not to say that they don't care about their image at all, but they definitely don't care to the point where they're like not going to do something that they want to do, or like, you know, I don't think that they're anywhere near as egotistical as a narcissist, because like their whole fucking identity revolves around, you know, what other people think and like other people validating them and all this shit, you know. But yeah, I fucking love this poster. I think it's so cool. It's so fucking cool. Most narcissists are just failed sociopaths. Yeah. I did this one last night. It's really hard to read. It says, turn it into a game and you will win. So that's kind of like my whole life motto. And that's true. Like every smart person, every wise person I know does it like that. They just turn everything into a game. And yeah, when you do that, you're competing with yourself. You're like, the problem with narcissists in particular is that they're constantly competing with everybody around them, because the people that they want to please so bad invalidated them. And they can't just admit that they feel invalidated. Like somebody had borderline personality disorder, they're all emotion. They're all, you know, frazzled, you know, emotional slop. Like, but, you know, I have more respect for that. I have more respect for somebody that's honestly and unabashedly fucked up than somebody that like consistently runs away from that and acts like they're fine, acts like they have it all together. They don't need help. They don't need this. They don't need that. And then, you know, those people are way more problematic. But this, you know, this is about my opinion on psychiatry. Treated, but never defeated. So yeah, when they talk about treating mental illness, that just means like load them up with pills. Load them up with pills that don't actually fix anything, but you know, we're gonna tell ourselves that we're better than we were. What's so crazy to me is like all these people are like, well, I was so depressed. It's like, were you really depressed, or were you just telling yourself that so you can rationalize taking the pills for the rest of your life? Because like, I know what it's like to be depressed, dude. Like sincerely depressed. Like I can't even pick up my feet to do any motherfucking thing. I don't even want to take a piss. I just want to stay in bed all day. I don't want to bathe. I don't want to work. And it's not just about not working. A lot of people don't want to work. Okay, that's not crazy to not want to work. But I would much rather deal with depression than anxiety. Real depression, though, real depression where like you can't function at all, I don't think that that's what most people have. People that say they're depressed, that just means that they're not satisfied with their life. Maybe work on that. This is so crazy. And it's like all of them are just consistently complaining about the same shit, too. Mainly because the side effects of the medication are designed to exacerbate whatever it was. Okay? And keep this in mind, everybody reacts differently to stuff, too. Same with the shots. Okay, so some people will react by, you know, having heart arrhythmia. Other people react with a blood clot. Other people react by having constant headaches. You know? So it's like, basically what all this stuff does is it causes your body to attack itself, because your body doesn't understand, why did you introduce these mystery pharmaceuticals? You don't even know how we work, and you're just gonna pump us full of this shit that you don't even understand. It's like, yeah, my body would attack me too if I, you know, did stuff like that. I mean, it did a long ass time ago when I was open to psychiatry. Like I did a lot of crazy shit. And I'm not just going to blame my psychiatrist, because I was the one that chose to go. I was the one that chose to take his shitty advice. And then when he proved to me that he really didn't give a fuck about me, I proved to him that I could find a better drug dealer. Okay? Anyway, I think I showed you guys this. I might not have. Replace pills with patience. Yeah. Should I do a TikTok? I will trigger the fuck out of so many people on TikTok, dude. Because, yeah, anytime that you suggest making lifestyle changes or dietary changes or, evaluating your life further, it's like people that are on these medications will just go on and on. Some people need it. Some people need it to live. Some people really need this stuff. Like, God, you were so annoying, dude. You're so annoying. Nobody would care if you did the thing that you're most afraid of doing. Okay? And I don't even think you're really afraid of that either, Of all the people that say that they're suicidal, most of them are going to do it. That takes a lot of time to figure that, figure out like the perfect way to do it. And like, I don't know, I'm really blessed because I'm a woman. So who knew I'd say that? But it's like, yeah, I get lost in the details of it. Like, how am I going to do it? And when am I going to do it? Where am I going to do it? Ooh, somebody texted me. Somebody texted me. Yay, I can work tomorrow. My signs, my personal signs, honey. I make a lot of personal signs. Oh my God, that tastes so bad. Ugh. I do feel better though. I feel better. Because my body doesn't ache as much. Anyway. I want to play music, but I can't really sing right now. So for those of you who don't like it, consider yourself lucky that I don't feel like playing music. Well, I want to, but I can't. I literally can't. It's my throat. Okay, I guess I'm going to listen to Bob Marley. Because it's too quiet in here. I gotta say, though, it's really nice to like be able to just be quiet. Like I can go into some Alcoholics Anonymous 12-step meetings. And for those of you that don't know, I don't like to call myself a recovering alcoholic because I feel like I've recovered from a hopeless state of mind and body. But no, do not fight right now. Do not fight. Go. But I started going to meetings again because there was somebody in my life that was just like not being very nice to me. And I could understand why. I could understand that this person like had a particular idea of me. I wasn't living up to that idea. I realized that, which is why I started to back away from it. But I didn't know how to confront the situation. Because how do you confront somebody about that? How do you confront somebody that is looking at you in such a way it's like if they were wearing glasses. If they were wearing goggles would be more fitting. Say they were wearing goggles, and every time that they put on these goggles, like they saw you in a certain light. And you were like, take off those goggles, man. But they didn't even realize they're wearing them. Is that a good analogy or not? It probably isn't. But maybe it is. But like, okay, hold on. I'm going to turn on something. I really like this album. Anyway, just so say you were to look at somebody in a way that was not in line with who that person actually is. You see this a lot with celebrities, you know? People tend to idealize or idolize rather. With regular relationships, it's idealization. With celebrities, it's idolization. So, like, you see somebody that can really shoot hoops. Like, oh my God, they can shoot some hoops. And you put them on a pedestal all because of that. Or they can play the fuck out of guitar. Or they're just an insanely talented drummer. Or whatever it is. You idolize them or you idealize them because of this one aspect of their personality. I'm sorry, I'm talking with my hands, really annoying. I know women do that. It's stupid. I just talk with my hands anyway. But I talk with everything, don't I? But so like a lot of people have this idea of somebody based off of one thing that happened. Okay, so if you can have that idea of somebody based off of a talent that that person has, so whether they're an athlete, an actor, a singer, songwriter, musician, whatever, it's like if you can put that person up on a pedestal all because of this one aspect of their personality, you're just so in awe of, then yeah, you can do that with pretty much anything. But you see it in the reverse too. So like, say you think that somebody wronged you, you can obsess about that one thing. Or say somebody said something to you, you can just obsess about that thing that they said. I've had this happen so many times where like I'll say something and it'll really rub somebody the wrong way, and they just can't let it go that I said it. And I wish that I was the person that I am now back then, but I guess it wouldn't mean anything if that were the case. But like, I wish that I could have told my younger self, like, don't sweat it, this person's a narcissist, okay? Because like, if anybody is going to obsess about one thing, whether it's like something you did right, something you did wrong, a way that you made that person feel positively or negatively, it's like that person's delusional, period. They're delusional because they're focusing all of their time and energy on one thing. And so, anyway, how do you confront a person that's like that? How do you confront a person that you know is doing that? Because they're really doing themselves a lot more of a disservice. It's just annoying to you, you know? So, like, you see it with, like, you know, what they call stranger stalkers. Somebody that has one encounter with you and they think they know you, and they, you know, you're this thing, this object of attraction in their minds, you know, based off of one thing. But yeah, that's why, you know, when you asked me earlier if or why I was on the internet, what compelled me to make YouTube videos, and I said I was because I'm a crazy person. It's yeah, crazy people love the internet because there's no accountability here. None, dude. None. The lack of accountability, it's worse than America. It's worse than the US media. Fucking internet, websites, all that. I'm losing my voice. My voice is gone. But like, yeah, there's no accountability. And so it's like, so say you say something that pisses people off or it upsets people, racist or whatever. You say something that's fucked up, you get kicked off. What can you do? You could just reinvent yourself and get right back on there, you know? And people do it all the time. And if people can do that in the real time with their actual identity, and they can do that like within themselves. So I wrote this down. Where did I write it down? Dude, I'm so fucking funny, but the thing is, my jokes are not going to work on stage because the audience is so fucking stupid, dude. They're so stupid. Thoughts from the fryer. That's what this said. I was dropping French fries, and this is what I was thinking. So narcissism is a form of deception. No, why? Why would you waste your money on that? Are you retarded? Time Magazine? What's wrong with you, dude? If you want to read Time Magazine, you know what you should do? This is why I used to, if you want to read a book, but you don't want to buy it, just go to like Barnes & Noble and just read it. Just go there and read it. You have to get over your autism now. Just do what everybody else does and wear those giant headphones. It wouldn't surprise me if people just start wearing a cardboard box everywhere they go, dude. That'd be funny. That'd be really funny. My mother, she used to have a prescription of People magazine. That relates to what you just asked me, okay? It's just stupid. All of it's celebrity stuff. Why are you asking this? What's your interest in Time magazine? Because, okay, so here's the thing with fake news. Some of it is real. Some of it is like every once in a while, you'll see an article that's not total bullshit. I mean, that's true of the articles that they write. So if you read the headline's total bullshit. But if you read the article, it doesn't line up with the headline. But there's always some semblance of truth in the article, which is why they can get away with it, because it's gaslighting. So it's like, say you tell a story. Say you tell people that you were raped at Popeyes. Okay. And and people believe you because you were at Popeyes that day. Even though there's nobody to corroborate the story, but you're like, oh, but you were at Popeyes. Or like, so you say, oh, well, this person was wearing this outfit, and like that part of the story is true. Like, that's why it's so easy to gaslight people, because gaslighters always use one thing and people go, oh, well, that's true though. I mean, I have to watch out for it too. Like, oh, if I just include this one little detail, people will convince themselves that this whole thing is true because of this one detail that was accurate. Well, okay, why don't you just go on Twitter? I miss the way Twitter used to be before it was X. More proof that everything's female. You know, they say like, oh, the future's female. It's true. It's fucking true. I actually agree with feminists on that. And it's not because I want that to be true. It's because that's what's happened. Technology has feminized everything. That's why Twitter is now X. X is like the female chromosome. So, booyah. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, delusion. So, like, one of the reasons why I left AA was, and one of the reasons I chose my sponsor too, my sponsor, her name is also Amy, but she was talking about how she's done this exact thing that I'm talking about. You can tell yourself that you're doing better. You can tell yourself, oh, well, I do this, this, and this. And that is actually another form of deceiving yourself into believing that you're healthy or whatever. And you can say, well, I'm in therapy, or I'm working the steps. I mean, I definitely did this shit. I was so fucking crazy, dude. I was so crazy. That's why I left AA. And I blamed a lot of people in there because they were crazy too. They were doing that. They think that they're so much better than people that are out drinking or people that still go to the bar. It's like, first of all, like, it's not any of your business what other people are doing. You know, it's not any of your business to try to change people or fix them or whatever the fuck. I mean, one of the reasons why I do all the stuff that I do artistically is because I can't get in people's faces and tell them to get off psych meds, you know? So I'm going to fucking do as much art as possible that showcases my perspective, which is very, very counterculture, especially for artists, because so many artists are on medication. It's not even funny. Artists, comedians, a lot of comedians are on antidepressants. Now, I will give them this. Because antidepressants don't work, they do make people funnier. I mean, they don't make you less depressed, dude. They don't. And I can't tell you how many times I've seen comedians, they just get up there and bitch about the same shit. So it's not like their perspective is any better than it was before they started taking Lexapro. They just give less and less of a fuck about it. So it's just making them apathetic, pretty much. But I do think that the apathy can be funny. So that's you never expected me to compliment them on that. But anyway, yeah, if you want to know what's going on, if you want to know what's relevant or whatever, I get what you're saying though. Just go on social media. Just talk to sheep. Just talk to sheep, dude. I mean, I work in the restaurant industry, so I'm surrounded by a bunch of people that go on TikTok. And it's cool because, doing comedy, I really need to get back into it. I swear, once my car is fixed, I'm going to go back to Nashville, I promise. But yeah, that was one of the ways that I figured out what was going on with the world. I didn't even know that the election was going on in 2016. I had no idea what was going on because I don't have a smartphone. I didn't have the internet in my house because I wasn't on YouTube yet. And so I had no idea. Somebody had to tell me, yeah, it's Trump versus Hillary. And I was like, dude, Trump's going to get it. Trump's going to get it because fuck Hillary. Fuck that bitch, But yeah, I said, no, it's going to be Trump because of the dynamic there. And that's going to make women insane. Women are already insane. But if you have a seemingly misogynistic candidate, and by the way, a seemingly misogynistic person is anybody that criticizes women, okay? So it's not somebody that beats the hell out of a woman. It's not somebody that rapes a woman or puts her in fucking hospital or whatever the fuck. And by the way, we don't agree with those things, okay? We really don't. But a person that just asks a woman, are you sure that happened? Are you sure? Can you verify that happened? Or are you just telling yourself that happened? Because I know that I understand the way that women think. We have the tendency to exaggerate a lot of things. We exaggerate details, and much like, the narcissistic delusion, we don't have much of an identity. We don't have confidence in who we actually are. And so we attach ourselves to this idea of victim. We attach ourselves to this idea of feminist. We attach ourselves to this idea. And I see women do it with the whole wife and the mother and trad bitch or whatever the fuck. It's like, yeah, you can get so fucking sucked in to this idea of what you think you are. And if people can do it with other people, places, and things, they do it with politicians, they do it with actresses, they do it with musicians, they do it with fucking America, they do it with countries, and with, just this idea of like what it means to be this or what it means to be that, And so, yeah, anyway, one of the reasons why I left AA was because, yeah, I think that I got way too sucked into that, and that was my own fault. But I was young and dumb, but there were a bunch of people that were a lot older than me that had been sober a lot longer than me that were just as sucked into all that, if not more. And so they were shaming people that didn't work the program and the way that they thought they should work the program. I've been abused by so many women. If y'all think I'm hateful towards women, it's because I've had so many negative experiences with women. And no, I don't think that they're all like that, by the way. But I think that it's so much easier for a woman to get away with bad behavior. It really is. But yeah, don't waste your money on fucking Time magazine. Just go to the grocery store and read an article or something. I mean, yeah, every once in a while they'll have something in there that's true, but you have to understand that like a lot of the stuff that they put in there is backed by politically correct horse shit. Okay, so I see this a lot. When I go to the grocery store, like on the newsstands, they got the Time magazine and what's the other one? Newsweek. Just stuff about autism or ADHD, and it's like you got to understand that all that stuff is backed by the pharmaceutical companies. So whatever information they're spewing, some of it might be true. But keep in mind that a lot of it is for the purpose of selling pills. Okay? So they have to make you think, oh shit, my battery's running low. Fuck. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. This has happened a lot. It'll just like cut me off. Yeah, I mean, if you spend $3 on a magazine, that's a lot better than a fucking subscription. But like I said, yeah, just go to the library. Go to the library, then you don't have to pay for anything. That's our tax dollars at work, baby. The library. You should go to the library before they burn all of them down. You know. But anyway, what was I saying? What was I talking about? I'm probably talking about like 5 different things at once because that's just the nature of my existence. Um, yeah, the Atlantic, you'll find some good shit in there every once in a while, but it's liberal. By the way, I'm not one of these crusty old conservatives that thinks that like all liberals are full of shit. I know some of them mean well. Um, you guys like turmeric? But yeah, just go to a store and then read whatever article you want to read in Time Magazine. So you don't have to waste your money on that crap. That's what I would do. But yeah, every once in a while they'll have an article in there that's like not total bullshit. But okay, so here's how you know. It's not just about the money, because you know that saying that you often hear, follow the money, follow the intentions, and follow the narcissism. Okay? So you got to look at the intentions behind writing the article. And so a lot of the time, the intentions go right along with the money. That's why I don't trust anything that people say, Mayo Clinic. Okay, you made your point. You made your point? I don't know what that was about. I mean, she wanted out. She wanted out of here. She was upset about something. She's gonna forget it though. She's gonna forget about it and come right back down, aren't you, Sophie? But yeah. Okay. What else was gonna put in this? Flaxseed. Um. Oh my gosh. I just remembered that I have chips and salsa. You guys, I have chips and salsa. Isn't that amazing? It's the little things, damn it. It's the little things. All right. Look at all these cucumbers, you guys. I think I would put in this album though after this. You know, I have more Bob Marley. Ronit, my Jew. She gave me a bunch of Bob Marley, a bunch of old Bob Marley. Let's see if she's on Instagram right now. Ronit is really the only reason I'm on Instagram. And I always miss her too. It'll say like Ronit was active 3 minutes ago. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? But yeah. Anyway, let's see here. Let's see if I can move this over here. I love that painting. That one right there. It's like my favorite. It's beautiful. And I love the spot too. It's great. Yeah, this is good shit that I'm on right now, baby. Really good shit that I'm on. My issue is like I just don't want to be like in this like habit of like getting high and I know that I do that because like it's a routine. And I'm like, well, what's wrong with the routine of getting high? Like, what's wrong with that? Like, you've been trained to think that that's wrong because you live in a civilization that's not a civilization. And I do believe that that's the whole reason I got high all the time. Because, you know, there's just this emptiness. I used to think it was emptiness from like just being crazy, but that's like I am a living proof. I am a living proof. Ooh, I like this color. Um, living proof that like making stuff on a regular basis really helps. Like if you make stuff it will help you with whatever you're dealing with psychologically. And you know, people don't like to hear that because then I say, yeah, the responsibility is yours. I mean, I think that people wouldn't be anywhere near as narcissistic. They wouldn't have all these issues obsessing about other people and obsessing about what the world's doing and obsessing about, you know, oh, this politician didn't do this. It's like people wouldn't be obsessed with that stuff if they were focused on themselves. If they had their own shit going for them, yeah, that. Okay, I can still smell you guys. I couldn't smell in my last stream. Um, yeah, if people were focused on themselves and their own shit, then they wouldn't give a fuck about other people. Yeah, I used to make collages all the time. I think I started doing the posters, so like in 2021, all these posters that you see, did y'all see them? That's a lot. That's a lot of fucking posters. This is a bag of chips. Okay. Not posters. That's a bag of tortilla chips. Okay, but yeah, that's a lot of posters since 2021. That's why, like, I know that I work my ass off, so like, it doesn't matter if other people don't understand my method or, you know, why I do things the way I do them. It's like it makes sense to me, bruh. Bruh. Makes sense to me. And that's the only person it needs to make sense to. Bruh. What does that say? Orange gingerbread cookie. Why would you want that? Gingerbread is already like pungent enough as it is. Why would you want it to be orange too? Yeah. Well, you know how many people have told me, like, man, like, you really should make that a thing. Ronique thinks that it should be in a museum or some shit. And I'm like, the problem is that I'm too offensive in so many different directions. So, I like this poster, for example. I love this poster. It says, if it's your body, why don't you know how it works? Okay. I don't understand why female empowerment has anything to do with politics. It shouldn't. Real female. Oh, I should write that down. Real empowerment in general doesn't have shit to do with politics because you're giving your power to the system. And like the only women that I have any respect for are women that know that and go, yeah, there's no point. There's no point in all that. And yeah, like I probably seem like a feminist in a lot of ways, but I promise you I'm not. I get very aggravated when people try to tell me what to do or they try to tell me what's best for me or what I should do with my life because of their idea of what I'm supposed to be, mainly because of my personality or something, or for the longest time, it was like, oh, well, you're supposed to do this because you're a woman. I don't think that's the case anymore. I think all these women are out of their fucking minds. We do not live in an oppressive society. Like, just because you can't abort a baby in the state of Texas doesn't mean that this society is oppressive. Go to fucking Portland. You can have them anytime you want. They're not going to care, honey. The thing is, like, the person I was talking about earlier, like, okay, I don't even think I finished this story because that's the nature of our existence. But like, I started going back to AA meetings because I realized that like this person in my life that has been in my life for a long time was just like, taking a lot of things personally. And I realized, okay, this isn't healthy. I need to like get away from him. It's not healthy for him either to be around me if like he has this idea of me, I'm not living up to it, it's pissing him off, it's upsetting him, it's hurting his feelings or whatever. I'm not going to change. He can say that it's because of my pride or whatever the fuck. No, it's because I'm not that person. It's like people that get offended because their dog keeps barking, or like they're offended because like a person that doesn't have social skills is refusing to go out. And it's like I just don't think that people have an understanding of the way that things truly are, and like you have to, in order to solve any kind of problem, you have to understand what the problem is. Okay. And so Okay. You do have the means to like not have sex. You do have the means to like pay attention to your menstrual cycle. True female empowerment, if we're talking about that, true female empowerment would be not even needing an abortion because you'd understand how your body works. Now, I understand we're talking about after the fact. So if she needs an abortion, she can do it herself. Women have been performing abortions on themselves since the beginning of time. She can cut the umbilical cord. Like, I know it's fucked up, where she can drink bleach, she can throw herself down a flight of stairs. There are a lot of different ways that women have made a miscarriage happen. I don't agree with that. I think it's really fucked up. But I mean, there are so many ways that people can take care of things without the help of a doctor. So I don't buy that. I think like when it comes to abortion, like if it wasn't so easy for them, they wouldn't do it. If they couldn't just like go to a clinic and have some doctor do the dirty work for them, they wouldn't do it. I know so many women that have had babies on the kitchen floor, and yet a lot of women will think, I have to do this in a hospital. I have to have all these people help me and shit. So I think that like less is more. If you have less people involved in like what you're doing, it's going to be a lot more natural and a lot more of like what God wants. Not that God wants abortion, but like, yeah, abortions have always been performed. You don't need a clinic to do that. You don't. I mean, you could probably okay. I don't want to look this up because let's do it though. DIY abortion. Oh my God, there's a DIY abortion kit. Healthline. The first thing that came up was Healthline. Okay. Self-managed abortion isn't inherently unsafe. Okay, they're talking about abortion pills. That's a little different. Okay, I don't think that this is. Mugwort. It has a history as an indigenous medicine. Some people take this to attempt abortion, as it's been found to potentially influence miscarriage and affect animals' pregnancy options. Okay, I cannot believe we're looking this up right now, but here we are. I read that parsley helps with that. Like, if you don't want to get pregnant, just like eat a bunch of parsley. That's what I did the last time that I had sex. Because parsley is supposed to go. Hold on, look this up. Parsley fertility. Parsley. Miscarriage. Okay, so it doesn't cause a miscarriage. Okay, so apparently, if you take in a large quantities, it can cause a miscarriage. This is from pregnancyfoodchecker.com. Okay, I'm really confused about these questions. What's as bad as tobacco? Tobacco really isn't that bad. Dude, I miss tobacco. Oh god, if I start smoking again, that's all I would fucking do though. Oh yeah, okay, so I was looking at. Oh, parsley. Ah. So basically, there are a lot of ways that people can do things that don't involve a doctor. And here's the thing, if you're a woman, like, and you don't want to get pregnant, it's like so crazy to me that you're like not trying harder to prevent that from being a possibility. And like, even fucking birth control and all that, like, that's not 100% effective. So that means that you really have to be in your P's and Q's about that, especially if you're young and fertile and all that. Oh my god. We are taking abortion pills forever. This is on a poster, you guys. That's one of the reasons why I started doing posters, is because, like, oh yeah, I think this is why this conversation came up. Like, I was doing stand-up comedy a lot in 2021, and I did my own like comedy specials, which is crazy. Like, this bar where I used to perform a lot, Twin Cakes 2, is no longer there. It's so very sad. But the owner of this bar let me do 2-hour-long comedy specials. And before I did the first one, I just did a random poster. The first poster that I did, it said question authority. And then I just kept doing them. And I used them in my set. I like explained them. And I actually found some old ones that I did a long time ago. Like, when I realized that I wasn't a leftist lunatic, I was doing posters as like just kind of a joke. But I didn't really artistically apply that until 2021. And then it sort of turned itself into a compulsion. Hey. What's Temu? I've heard of that. Temu. Is that TV? Oh, that's stop. Oh, it's an app. Temu offers easy returns and exchanges for all your shopping needs. Shop like a billionaire. Okay. I don't need to do that. I'm not even going to shop like a thousandaire because I don't even think I'm on that level. And no, you don't get a chip. You don't get a chip. Tortilla chips aren't for kitty cats. I know I shouldn't be eating this. Are you guys entertained by me eating chips? No, go. Go. Sometimes I wish I'd gotten a dog instead. I love dogs, but they're so high maintenance. Cats are really annoying now. I would say cats are way more annoying than dogs. Because dogs don't like get all up in your shit the way that cats do. You know, a dog will just kind of sit there and chill with you. Unless they get excited about something outside, you know. Oh, but what was I talking about? It involved narcissistic delusion. Oh, yeah. I guess I can make this point. Working on yourself is like totally invaluable. And that's really what you should do more than anything. Um, and so that's why I decided to get back into the 12-step program. And it's really cool because I'm in a completely different time period in my life. And so it means something way different. Well, we can all lie to ourselves about things and be like, well, I'm doing this. And so I'm a lot better off. And even something that you do to be healthy, even something that you do to get closer to God. I mean, you see it in religious circles. If you see it in a church, you're definitely going to see it everywhere else too. People that go to the gym, people that do yoga. It's like you can get something really good from all these things. You can like get closer to God. There's a lot of controversy about yoga. Um, and this friend of mine who's also Orthodox, she was like, but like I'm devoting all these positions to God. It's not like I'm doing this and it's like demonic. It's like it's only demonic if you idol worship it in a way, because there are a lot of people that do that. It's like, okay, so I listen to a lot of bands that were probably communists. I listen to stuff that, rock and roll. Rock and roll is supposedly satanic. But it's like, I know that it's like these musicians are just musicians, you know? I don't think any more of it, like the kinds of people that watch like a Super Bowl halftime show and they're like all excited about it. I would say that there are a lot more in that. But at the same time, though, they really don't know. They don't. Paul says nothing is unclean of itself. So that means that like we're the ones that like give it that. We're the ones that obsess about whether something's good or bad. It's the whole legalistic thing. It's wrong. But once again, that's ego. And obsessing about that can't be good for your health. Like, this huge conspiracy theorist. You should check him out if you haven't already. His channel name is Jake the Awake. He used to be Jake the Asshole, and now he changed his name. But he's really cool. He has this whole thing. He does like videos where he like explains how scripted the NFL is. And like, I mean, I was noticing that when I was watching football with my dad. Like, I don't understand how anybody can be a fan of football and watch any like major national football, whatever the fuck you call that shit. I don't see how people could watch that and not know it's rigged. Considering, like, if you're a fan of football, you know how the game is supposed to be played, right? I don't even know how the game is supposed to be played. Like, but I can watch it and see, oh wow, that doesn't make sense. Isn't he supposed to be going that way? Isn't he supposed to tackle that guy? Why did he just drop the ball? He just had the ball. Why did he drop the ball? And there's no excuse for them to drop the ball either because that thing's magnetic. So, but it's just so obvious. Like, and I'm not even into the game, but it's like I can tell certain aspects about it. Like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be played. But the fact that people are obsessed with football and they've been obsessed with football all their life and they can't figure out that none of these plays make a lick of sense. Anyway, Jake the Awake, he has this whole segment of his videos where he like breaks down all of the most scripted plays of the week. And yeah, they're so funny. They're so fucking funny. But you know, Jake is like real into football. You can tell he knows his shit when it comes to that sport. So he's like, yeah, this is what they should be doing, but they're not doing that. They're doing the opposite. Oftentimes you'll see like a football player that's like handing the ball to the other team, or they like throw it to the other team. It's like it's so obvious that it's like purposeful, you know? Like why would you get into like professional football? You've been playing football your entire life. You are trained to play football professionally for a living. And you can't figure out how to catch it, not drop it, or like not allow it to get intercepted when you didn't. I mean, it's so crazy. Like just watching it and not being into it because you know I want this team to win, or I'm making money off of it. I mean, the whole sports betting thing, that's kind of what makes it the most obvious. I think if they can make a fuck ton of money off of, like all these sheep, but yeah, it's like I feel like I'm like sinking in my chair like every time I talk to people, you know, because there's so many things that I can't voice because like yeah, they're not gonna understand. They're just gonna call me crazy. And I also don't want to ruin it for them, you know. If like you look forward to watching football, you look forward to being mindlessly entertained, then I don't want to take that away from you by telling you that it's all scripted. And like yeah, your favorite quarterback is purposely playing bad because he was told to. Um but anyway, I'm sure that's absolutely heartbreaking though. Like if you're really, really into football and you've like been obsessive about, you know, watching that, your whole family's into it, maybe your town's really into it. Like to figure out that it's all scripted and that yeah, that's got to be so heartbreaking. Like I empathize with that a lot. That's like figuring out that your favorite singer songwriter is a child molester. You know, like I can't even imagine. Um, but yeah, whenever I was a little kid, I was really suspicious of everything I was told. And, you know, the '90s, a lot of stuff was revealed in the '90s, and I think back about that time period a lot. And I'm so grateful that I had that time period to grow up in. And I'm also grateful that I am schizophrenic and I can just live in my head. And it's still 1994 in my head. No. Is the mood even real? Look, here's the thing with conspiracy theory. I'm not like obsessed with conspiracies. I just think everything's fake. A lot of people are obsessed about the shape of the earth. I'm not one of those people. But The point is, they can tell us things and we believe it. So it's not like, oh, if the earth is flat, that really changes things. No, that means that like everybody believes this lie about the place where they live. But I guess that's also true of America, you know? This is supposedly the beacon of freedom. But they made it obvious that the whole point of it's slavery, actually. But they're enslaving people through different means, you know? And so a lot of people will go on and on and on about the racial element. The whole reason why they kept blacks in the country was so they could do what they're doing now and just hold white people hostage for something that nobody alive right now is responsible for. And unfortunately, my race is very dumb. And they, not all of us, but a lot of us are just really desperate for validation. And so, because white people don't really have much of an identity, they have to seek that in, you know, the things that they think make them relevant. So, and I see that with conspiracy theorists too, you know. That's why I've just kind of like laid off that. I say enough of it to scare people off, but I'm not so obsessed with the details of it because I think that the details don't really matter. What matters is that I don't believe I'm told. I feel like you're asking me trick questions in order to try to make me look stupid. I will not be baited. Mm. Stand-up comedians in Nashville figured that out the hard way. That they cannot race bait me. Like I don't give a fuck. I mean, look, I'm white, okay, so automatically racist, right? And I'm not a stupid liberal. Automatic racist. The thing is, though, nobody could disagree with me when I was talking about how, like, a lot of these white people are just doing it for performance purposes. Like, I got in this huge argument with a bunch of black people, and and I was like, all these white people that say Black Lives Matter, they don't give a fuck about you. It's all for their fucking ego. They couldn't fight me on that. They knew it was true. I mean, I think that they were like relieved that a white person said that. There's this girl I work with who is like, she's a narcissist. She's the one I talk about. Like, I wanted to believe she had borderline, but I'm like, no, she's not. She's not interesting enough to be a borderline. But she'll pretend that I'm her favorite person until somebody comes into work that validates her more than I do, which is pretty much everybody. Because I will say this though, my supply means a lot more than anybody else's supply. Because like I know what she's about. I also know that she's really insecure, and I still feel sorry for her. So I do pity her. The bitch gave herself a heart attack like a little over a year ago. And I mean, I said that, like, she's going to kill herself. Like, she's going to keep behaving in ways that are going to hurt her. And that's exactly what she did. And she called me from the hospital and blamed me and everybody else that we work with for causing the heart attack. So, just to let you know what level she's on. Like, but anyway, why did I bring her up? I don't remember why I brought her up. Oh, black people. She's with a black guy. She's only with black men. She's one of those white people, okay? But she's not just attracted to black men. I know plenty of white women that are just attracted to black men. They just are. Probably because black men have more masculinity. It doesn't matter how degenerate they are in their life decisions. There's a natural masculine energy that exudes from black men, even homosexual black men. And white men will never have it. That's why they have to rev their engines and shoot their guns and carry them around in a fucking holster in order to feel like they're, you know, all these things that they wish they were naturally. Well, I think that the performative element of black culture has a lot to do with America and just being around a bunch of white people that turn everything into a performance. Not that they're not dramatic, but I've met a lot more of them that don't like drama. They get very aggravated with drama. And it has a lot to do with the fact that I think that the wiser ones know that their race perpetuates a lot of that. Or it's easily perpetuated, like, by the media or by this university narrative of, like, the victim mentality. But anyway, this girl I work with, it's like she has to prove how much she loves black people, like, all the time. And we got in this huge argument about the N-word. This was a few weeks ago. I think I've talked about this. But it was like, I got along better with the black chick. Like, I have more of an issue with my own race constantly perpetuating this narrative that we are responsible for things that happened a long time ago, or we're the only race that contributes to any kind of racist rhetoric. That's complete crap. And she knows that too. But she pretends that she doesn't know that because she wants to be liked and she wants to be validated. And it's sad. It's like you're literally like fucking a black guy. Like you've been with this guy. You only have black boyfriends. You have a mixed kid. I don't know how much more you need to prove that you're not a racist or whatever. But it's like, yeah, like I said, she's one of those white people. And we've gotten into so many arguments about that. But the thing is, I don't get into these arguments with blacks. And they've even said to me, other black coworkers we have, that are like, man, like, it's really awkward with her. Because it's like she constantly needs this validation that she's like the least racist white person or some shit. It's like when that other comedian, like, who's that comedian who does Kill Tony? You know that guy I'm talking about? I don't remember his last name. Tony Hinchcliffe. I don't like this guy. I don't think he's funny. I don't like his show or his podcast or whatever. That's why I wouldn't even try to get on it. All these other comedians in Nashville, I guess Kill Tony came to Nashville this summer. And like, yeah, all these comedians were trying to get on it. I was like, that's the last thing I'm interested in. Well, like, he made some comment over like the Trump. I think there was like some election stuff. Like he spoke at a Trump rally and said something mean about Puerto Rico. And it's like this girl I'm talking about. It's like she just goes off about it. And I'm like, bitch, you don't give a fuck about Puerto Rico. I mean, like, I know people that like moved to Puerto Rico, white people, okay? They speak Spanish. They're actually moving back because they're trying to like open like a parish down there. Orthodox friends of mine. They didn't get offended by it. You know, there's a friend of mine from Puerto Rico didn't get offended by it. But it's like, yeah, like just that whole performative, like, oh, I'm supposed to care about this. I'm supposed to whine about this. Like, I hate social media so much because it's just turned that up. And like I was saying earlier about how do you address a person that's like, you know, manipulative? How do you address the person that's delusional? How do you say, like, you're lying? Somebody that's a pathological liar. I mean, it's pathological for a reason. Like, they're not going to catch themselves doing it because it's so ingrained in their lifestyle. It's so ingrained in the way they operate on a day-to-day basis, you know? So, like, there's nothing that you can say to that person. Like, we can't talk this through. You know what I mean? But anyway. It's like conversations that I've attempted to have with this girl, conversations that I attempted to have with people in stand-up comedy that just didn't understand. Like with politics, there's this brick wall, you know. If it's politically incorrect, they're not going to listen to it because that threatens their relevance. I have a space heater too. It's really small. I'm too fucking broke to buy a bigger one. I really want this one of those big ass ones. The bad thing is that they die. Huh. She probably wouldn't get it. I really do feel sorry for her though, because like her whole fucking life revolves around TikTok. You know, like she's one of those women that's like obsessed with TikTok. I don't know what's worse though. Like, is TikTok as bad as being addicted to Twitter? Is it? I think like it's way worse to get into political arguments with people than it is to be addicted to mind numbing content. I mean, it's bad, but if I have to gauge like which one's worse, I would say that it's worse to be addicted to Twitter or Facebook. Um, yeah, she was pissing me off yesterday. She got mad at me because I was sick. Like, I asked her what was wrong, and she was like, "Well, you weren't here yesterday." I'm like, "Oh my god, I wasn't here yesterday because I was fucking sick." I mean, you hear the sound of me right now. I shouldn't have gone to work yesterday. I hope that I'm fine tomorrow. Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna do it, you guys. I'm gonna do this even though I'm wearing the sweatshirt. Because I don't feel like taking off the sweatshirt, okay? I'm a hypocrite today. Easy street at your door. They know your life. Oh, I want to know. Oh, is all you kind. It's a fun dancer's choice, conference, better drink, my advice. You know all the rules right now, and the fire from the eyes. You come with me. Won't you come with me? Popcorn. Worst thing about that is it's GMO. I mean, it's fucking corn. But who am I to talk? I mean, corn shit. Don't tread on me. I love this band so much. I could listen to The Clash last night. It's been a while since I listened to The Clash. I got so much music. I just keep like cycling through the same stuff. Mainly because of my mindset. I just want to be on like a more positive I want to have more positive energy, and it's like The Clash is angry, you know. I mean, they're called The Clash for a reason. The music's so good though. Yeah, like Grateful Dead, Bob Marley, jazz. It just puts me on like a real peaceful track. It's interesting how like, you know, different music will affect you. Like certain times in my life, like I was obsessed with certain bands, and like I can't even listen to those bands now, you know. But at the time, like it meant so much to me, you know, that was like my medicine. You know, this album came out 1970. You know, I remember 1991. Like it's so weird, like how different everything was then, but how I still had that same sort of ominous feeling that has been so prominent, not just with me, but with everybody, it seems. Yeah, they come up with their name. It's based off of some like mystic tale. Cause yeah, you're right. That was their original name, and then I think apparently Jerry Garcia was at like Phil Lesh's house. Well, Phil Lesh was like one of the other members of the band. He was just reading this book on like folklore or whatever. Apparently, if like somebody dies, but a person like does that person a favor like that, they have a funeral for them. Like that dead person will like help them out in their life. Like the spirit of that dead person will help them whenever they need help. And so yeah. But I think a lot about how like yeah, I really get this stuff. I really get it. like why music is so important. And I never saw it as an escape. Yeah, that makes sense. I think the issue I've always had with society, is there's just this deadness with people. Like I could never understand like how my parents or boomers, it's like they grew up during like one of the best times to be alive in regards to the music. It's like they really didn't give a fuck about all that stuff. You know. But I guess it's not fair for me to just like speculate about their lives. I don't know. Like, I don't know what their lives were like. I just know like what they told me. Yeah, a lot of the time I'll listen to this music and I'll just be like, man, this was so much simpler. And I'm so grateful that I at least have that sort of like telephone on a string. That's how I look at music. I mean, it's always been this thing that I could communicate with, because I feel like I can't communicate with this world, and a lot of the people that live in this world, I just don't see eye to eye with them. I always feel like I'm being really arrogant about it. Like I feel like, oh, I'm special, or I'm a prophet, honey. I mean, legit though, there's just a lot of stuff that we figured out long before anybody else. Hence the flip phone. Flip phone life's not for everybody. It's really not for most people, I'd say. But yeah, like all the stuff that people are complaining about now, it's like I tried to warn them that all that shit was gonna happen, because people can't handle having the internet in their pocket all the fucking time, dude. And I mean, why would they? Why would they? I couldn't handle it being in my pocket all the time. Sometimes I can't even handle it being at my fucking house, because it's just too tempting for me to just look up a bunch of stuff that's going to make me even more obsessive and paranoid, and it's like my whole existence is a rabbit hole. No, I don't need help. When they locked us down, I was having really bad anxiety, and it occurred to me that I could just stop. I could just stop going on the internet and reading these articles and that was one of the smartest things that I've ever done. And if it seems like, oh, well, I just want to bury my head in the sand, like, my lifestyle proves that's not what I'm doing. Good for you, man. 1992. I don't get it. That was back when car phones existed. Car phones and fucking pagers and shit. What are you talking about? Flip phones didn't come into existence until like 2005. I don't think. Or maybe it was before that. Maybe like 2003. No. It was after 9/11. Let's look this up on the internet. When did flip phones come out? In 2001, I'm guessing. Flip phone. Oh, 96. Okay, the earlier models were introduced in 89. Okay, I stand corrected. I'm sorry, I sit corrected. Literally sitting corrected right now. Okay. The golden era of flip phones was in like the camera phone first came out in 2002. Okay, well now they have foldable smartphones. That's kind of weird. It's like they're treating it like it's a book. It's not. It's the opposite. A smartphone is the opposite of a book. Okay? Man, I need to get back into reading. I keep saying that. This is the book I was trying to read. I was reading it, successfully reading it, and then I just stopped because my ADD was like, nope, let's think about something else. The Illness and Cure of the Soul in the Orthodox Tradition. It's all about the Greek word for eye of the soul is nous, Nous. So it's all about how when that gets darkened, either from shitty life experiences, typically in childhood, but this could happen at any point. Like you can be traumatized by anything, and it can like dramatically impact your way of life. So when the nous is darkened, either through life experiences or the world. I think the world does a really good job at making people colder. And I probably sound like I'm in that boat, but I wouldn't be doing the art that I'm doing if there wasn't a part of me that did love the world and was trying to do right. Because I feel like it's more of a ethical obligation of mine to do it the way that I'm doing it. Not just say the things that I'm saying, but say them how I'm saying them. A candy bar style phone. I don't know what that means either. Are you talking about the ones that are like, well, what kind of candy bar? That is loaded, dude. That's loaded. My first mobile phone was it was like this small, and it had like a little antenna thing on it. It didn't stick out, like it was just attached to it. It didn't like come out or anything, but it's really small. Yeah, it was a book. You weren't hallucinating. It was a fucking book, dude. I read the Bible all the time. The reason I can do that is because it's philosophical and there's no commitment. Like with a regular ass book, there's commitment. Like the passage that I read to you guys earlier in Ecclesiastes, it's like this is how long it is. Okay, there's that and that. That's it. It's like half a page. And then, I could just read Proverbs, and Proverbs is just like, it's like fucking philosophical candy. It's like Smarties. Smarties are so, oh my god, I want a Smartie now. It's probably fucking poison, but I still want one. They still make Smarties. Yeah, I have a flip phone. I've never had a smartphone. I know they're useful, but I hate them on principle. That's another thing that's wrong with a lot of people. They don't love things or hate things on principle. That's why they're so easy to manipulate, because they don't have a foundation. I know it's not Steve Jobs' fault that everybody's retarded, but he knew exactly what was going to happen, which is why he told his family not to get the device that he pushed on everybody else. Such a piece of shit. Such a piece of fucking shit. Burning in hell as we speak. I can say that undoubtedly. Because people that invent fucked up shit and push it on into the world, it's like, yeah, dude. He deserved to get cancer. He said it was mean. What he created was cancerous for society. And all these people are just coping with the fact that everybody's retarded now. And it's just like every other day. It's ever been. Sun coming up, dude, I'm debating on like whether or not I'm gonna go to my corner store and get more drugs. I really don't need to. I know that I don't need to. But it's like, it's just something I'm thinking about because wonder if it could help me. Okay, I have CBD though. I have some CBD, and the CBD is good for inflammation. So I could do that. I really don't want to use marijuana again. I know that I talk about it a lot because I miss it, but I don't miss it enough to do it again. Does that make sense? Because I know it's not the same thing, so it's like I'm missing some nostalgic thing. Yeah, they're just calling me that because they're coping with the fact that they don't have like a functioning prefrontal cortex. Thing is, if I'm going to go to the corner store, I have to go now. We'll see. Here's why do like websites say you have to be 21 or you have to be 18? Are you 18? Are you 21? It's like, why would you be like, no? It's like, you think that asking that question is going to make people that are underage be honest about it? It's like, yeah, I know that I don't need any of this shit, but I like tell myself that I hate it. I fucking hate it. It's like this. It's like obsessive, you know. Like I'll get this idea in my head, and then like I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this, and then it's like I could just like let it pass, you know. And then I've realized, wow, you didn't have to do that. I don't think so. I do not think so, dude. My IP address 6281. That means that I'd be 6,281 years old. Okay. Yeah, watch your speed. Trouble behind. See, the thing is, like, weed or, like, really anything I take isn't going to make my throat stop doing what it's doing. You know? So it's just like this obsessive thought that I have all the time. That's like, and I'm trying to talk myself out of it right now. Where, like, I'll be like, oh, if you just buy this. But that's bullshit. Because, like, I know that it's like that relief will never come. It will never fucking come. And I've lived long enough with this thing in my brain constantly taking at me. I've lived with it long enough that I know that's not true. And yet, I still fall for it. Not all the time. I'm trying to talk myself out of it right now. And besides, I need to save my money so that I can pay for this $1,400 car repair. But I don't know. It's just so annoying. This isn't that song. Sharkin is off of American Beauty. This album is Working Man's Dead. This is Casey Jones. They do sound similar though. I think American Beauty came out after this album. I mean, it's another song about drugs. That sounds the same. So. I also don't want to leave the house because I don't even have a car, so I'd have to walk where I'm going, and it's really cold outside. But I don't know. I'm just being impulsive right now. My impulses used to be so much worse, but now if I get impulsive, it's just to buy something dumb. I really don't get that impulse as much as I used to, though. Like, it used to be really, really bad. Just cross my mind. The CD's over now, so I have to decide: do I put in another CD or just listen to the same CD again? I typically listen to the same CD again. Yeah, I don't watch TV because, yeah, I think my mind's like way too active to be able to sit down and watch a television show. It's not like I can't do it. I just don't choose to do it on my own volition. If I'm with other people, I'll watch TV. It's cool though, like whenever I meet people and we don't do that, we just like have a conversation. That's the best. I hung out with this friend of mine the other night and like I just went to her apartment and we just talked for an extended period of time. Yeah, that's really cool. I mean, that's what I do with myself. Mm. But yeah, if I leave, I'm gonna have to like bundle up. It's like, yeah, I don't need to do it. I don't need to do it. I don't need to do anything, you know? I used to work at the movie theater, so I used to eat the fuck out of that. Popcorn's so good though. It's a good snack that you can just eat the fuck out of. I'm obsessed with making guacamole, so that's what I do. But I think that's better because, like, guacamole is really good for you. uh, one of the reasons why I got back into kratom is because there are all these people saying it's dangerous. Yeah, that's so like me. It's so like me. Said it's a dangerous supplement. Uh, but I don't want to do it too much though because of the liver thing. It can be bad for your liver. I asked them about that at the store, but they told me no. But of course, they're going to tell me no because they want to sell it. Uh, this is like so many fucking medications that they're saying you're at higher risk of liver injury. I can't pronounce any of these medications. except fluoxetine. That's the only one I can pronounce. Oh, codeine. I can pronounce that one. Oh, I miss drinking coffee too. Yeah, I was drinking a lot of coffee. I mean, when I drink coffee, I tend to drink a fuck ton of it. It's just what I do, you know. I was an alcoholic, so like, yeah, anything is worth doing is worth doing excessively. Oh, yeah. I don't know why they said talk to your doctor. No, fuck that. I never talk to a doctor. uh, it's entirely possible that kratom can harm the liver, but this effect is exceedingly rare and only appears to affect certain individuals, those with underlying health conditions, or people taking other medications. Most people don't experience any issues with liver damage, even with repeated or prolonged use of kratom. With that said, the evidence for its adverse impact on the liver is rare and inconclusive. Direct evidence is only available on a per case basis with various confounding factors, such as the simultaneous use of other drugs. The sudden increase in the number of users make it statistically more likely that a few will suffer rare adverse reactions due to unique physiological traits. Overall, it can be said that kratom has been observed to be relatively safe in low doses. Its effect on the liver can lead to jaundice-like symptoms in rare cases. It's best to avoid mixing kratom with any other medication. In such cases, the guidance of a doctor or physician is recommended before starting on kratom. Okay, why do you say that? Are you trying to sell kratom or not? Why are you, why are you saying that? They have to say it. They have to say it. Yeah, that's why it's so aggravating. Like this country, like it's because of the fucking FDA. Like you have to be like, this statement was not evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This should not be used to treat any disease or medical condition. Yeah, they say that because yeah, they have to. It's like a liability thing. Well, I've never had any issues with it. And I got off of it. It wasn't hard. Like I would take it like every day, and then I just stopped taking it. It didn't have any issues. I don't know. I'm really good with that though. Like if I want to quit something, I quit. If I'm taking a break, I'm taking a break. That's why, as much as I want to drink coffee, I'm not because I told myself you're not drinking coffee until this fast is over. Because you're not fasting from all this other stuff that you're supposed to be fasting from. So you're going to fast from something that you really don't want to fast from. So anyway, ooh, I gained a subscriber. Are they going to leave pretty soon? They'll probably leave pretty soon. People tend to leave. Yeah, I did my first stream on Twitch. I mean, I think I put it in the video too. That's what it was. The thing is, if you know what you're doing and why you're doing it, it shouldn't be an issue. That's the problem. Is like, who's looking for validation? Women. What are you talking about? Well, the thing is, if I'm going, I have to go now because they're gonna close in like less than an hour, and I have to walk there. I'm not gonna fucking go. Yeah, I hate it though. Like, this is the worst part of having OCD. You think it would be the fucking hoarding and all that. I mean, yeah, that's really terrible also. But the thing is, though, like, the sort of like obsessive tick, it reminds me of when I was a drunk and I would like start drinking and I would just like obsess about the next drink. And I did that with cigarettes. So I don't think it's like, oh, you're an alcoholic or whatever. It's like, no, you obsess about stuff. You're obsessing about like where's your next hit gonna be from? And I don't mean hit like it changes the way you feel because it doesn't have to be an actual drug. It could be anything. You tell yourself that, oh, this is gonna change things for me. I used to like obsessively like touch a light switch. So it's like I cannot touch it, but I would still be thinking about it. And if I was in the same room with that light switch, I would just be thinking about it until I touched it. And then touching it still wouldn't relieve. It's like what I was talking about with like the chronic nose picking. It's like I'll tell myself that I'll stop after a certain point, and I never do. You know, because it's not about the thing; it's about the tick. Like it's kind of like when you scratch an itch, it just keeps itching. You can tell I'm just fucked up anyway, because, like, I mean, one thing about kratom, it's a lot like an edible in this way. You know how, like, if you smoke some weed, like, you're high, like, after you smoke it, but then the high just comes down. The opposite's true when you eat an edible. So, like, you'll eat it, and 45 minutes later, it'll kick in. 2 hours later, it'll really kick in. 3 hours, 4 hours, it's like peak. Um, Kratom is very similar to that. Only the difference with kratom, it's very, very instantaneous. So you'll take it and you'll immediately feel the effects of it, but it'll just gradually, you'll keep getting higher and higher. Um, but it's like, it's not going to stop that tick, though. That's the thing. Like, and I'm realizing that that has nothing to do with drugs and alcohol. Like, the reason that I'm this way isn't just because I'm an addict. Like, that's too simple of an explanation. And, like, I get into arguments with a lot of people in recovery over this because it's just like they want a simple explanation, but rarely are things simple. I mean, if popcorn does it for you, I would say that you're pretty fucking lucky, dude. Unless you're like really obese or something. If you're really obese, then like maybe that's a problem. Yeah, I have a friend of mine who's really obese, and she's like, I'll see all the stuff she gets like during coffee. Like after church, we have like, oh hey, hey, we have coffee hour, and it's just crazy. Like all the crap that they bring, just nothing but like sugar. It's just like donuts and like we'll have bagels and peanut butter sometimes, and like some people make actual dishes that they'll bring to church, but like for the most part, yeah, it's like fruit snacks and like Nutrigrain bars and like all this stuff is just really bad for you because of all the sugar in it, but especially donuts. Like donuts are like one of the worst things you can possibly eat, and yeah, this friend of mine, like she'll just have this whole plate, and it's so bad, you know. It's like if you're gonna eat a donut, like you should eat a donut like maybe once a month, if that, you know. I don't know people eat donuts every day. I mean, I get it. I used to work at Dunkin' Donuts, so like, bless you, honey. That was adorable. That was the cutest little kitty sneeze. Oh, that was so cute. But at least you lost weight. A lot of people can't lose weight. It's because they refuse to change their habits. That's why. I get it. I mean, it's hard. I just don't have that issue with food. I've never had that issue with food. Mm. I just need a cat to jump on me every time that I have a compulsive thought. Some food, but you're supposed to eat to live, not live to eat. Some food though, like I'll eat it, I'll be like, holy shit, this is why I was born. Yeah, I really do feel sorry for people that are obese though. Like the food addiction thing, that's gotta suck, especially in America. Like if you have a food addiction problem, you probably should just leave America. Because yeah, I mean that makes sense out of like why so many people are so fat. It's like what I see immigrants within 6 months of coming to this country, they'll blow up. Such a sweet baby, Paisley. 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 Look at this man. No, I'm sleeping, bitch. That's what I love about her so much. Is like she just has such a strong personality, and she doesn't like to be told what to do. Like she'll look at me like I'm crazy. Like every time that I ask her to do anything, or I tell her to not do something, she's like, "You think I'm gonna listen to you, bitch? Fuck you." Remember, sometime I would spray her with a water bottle, and she'd just look at me like, "You think that's gonna be effective, bitch?" Like, you swear up a storm. You swear up a storm because you're my cat. That's why. Yeah, what she really is such a sweetheart. Okay. I hope I can get my car by Friday. That would be ideal. I really should leave my house because I'm fucking tired. She already has cat food. She's eating enough food today. Isn't that right? No, you always want more food. Well, I don't think I'm just tired because of the kratom. I think it's just like the heat. Skechers. Yeah, I don't need to be going anywhere, do I? I don't need to go anywhere. I can sort of stay with you and touch your little head. That's what's cool about animals. Is like they just help you just be content, you know, because they can just sit there and just chill. They don't need to be entertained. Like it's crazy to me. They don't get bored. But I guess they're not conscious enough to be bored. you know? If only you had any idea how boring life is. I think that's why so many people are antidepressants. I have so many theories as to why like pills are so popular, and I think yeah, it has a lot to do with like just people just being bored. They're bored in their marriages. They're bored in their friendships. They're bored at their jobs. They're just bored in general. You're so lucky you're not human because you don't get bored. So sweet. The best is when she looks at me and then she slowly like, hey, do it again. Do it again. She's like, you won't make it once. Just kidding. I'll give it to you again. Oh, it's so sweet. That's my favorite thing about cats is that they slowly like you came over here to ruin this moment. Hey, did you see that? Oh shit. Anyway, I didn't even take a shower though. So if I forgot, I can just go back to sleep. It's only like 7:30. But I obviously don't sound too good. Um, I don't feel like I got much motivation to do anything, which is fine. Like that'd be really weird if I was highly motivated and sick at the same time. So yeah. Apparently you're not supposed to interrupt a cat when they're taking a bath. But I do it all the time. Like I'm doing it right now. You're licking my sweatshirt, right? You're not licking yourself. Alright. Well, I guess I'm gonna go. I feel like I've just been doing this and I'm just like sitting here like not making much sense and isn't this what people do on the internet? Like they just waste time on the internet, right? Right? Yeah, Paisley's leaving. So anyway, I appreciate you watching this boring ass stream of me being sick and eating salsa and guacamole. And I think I'm gonna maybe go back to sleep because there's just nothing else. There ain't nothing else. Yeah. Well, goodbye.